We're looking at practice clips from minicamp and OTAs. Today we're looking at the Jets, and we're talking about Justin Fields. We're going to watch him throw some nukes, throw the ball around, work through some drills, everything else. Before we do again, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're going to be looking at practice. Training camp's right around the corner. We're going to be looking at your quarterback battles, your rookies, your favorite players. Those guys you're drafting in fantasy football. You want to know if they got potential, it's all right here. Click that button. Stop missing out on what your players are doing behind the scenes because it's all going to be right here. Justin Fields, 6.5 minutes. We're going to loop this and keep talking ball. There we go. He threw that one. Back of the end zone. But Justin Fields with the Jets. Every year, it's what can we do with Justin Fields? What's going to happen? Last year, this time with the Steelers. Training camp, which a little bit in the future of that this time last year. But at this training camp with the Steelers, it was a laser light show with George Pickens every practice. Every practice. He was making plays happen. He was coming on to his own. Back end of his run with the Steelers too. Like he was starting to figure things out. There were some issues with the Steelers as well. Offensive line. Everything else. Justin Fields, new team. Another new offense. With the Bears. The thing is, you just got to be honest. Like, some of that's on the Bears. Some of that's on Fields. Some of that, it was just ugly. Now you go to the Steelers, you see a little promise, and it was just ugly. You got Russell Wilson coming in. Looking over your shoulder at Russell Wilson all the time. You knew Russell Wilson was going to get his opportunity no matter what. Russell Wilson was dealing with a calf injury. He had his opportunity to take the bull by the horns, though. He had his opportunity then. Like, even with bad being there, or whatever excuse you make, you could still get by with that. Now we're with the Jets. What can we say here with the Jets? Better offensive line. You got Garrett Wilson there, who's very dependable, Ohio State connection. He's got 4.3 speed, creates separation on a whim. Very reliable wide receiver. But you got that run game. He's never had a Breece Hall. A top-tier talent at the running back position. And then behind Breece Hall, you got Braylon Allen. I don't know if that guy's old enough to drink yet. I think he is, but he's a young running back prospect who showed promise last year. And you look at this team, you look at this offense, and you can tell how they want to build this. RPO action, Breece Hall getting in the passing game, and then Fields taking off, quick passes to Garrett Wilson, sprayed it around to the other wide receivers, being quick, being technical, using that defense. We got to see if this clicks and if it gels. This is a good experiment to watch. This is a quarterback that could transform. Now, if you're looking at fantasy, the good or bad with Justin Fields, he gets you numbers. He gets you production. He has weeks where he's the top level quarterback. He has weeks. They're going to be using that. They're going to be using his mobility. Like, that's going to be schemed up. That's going to be schemed into it. You see the GoPro on that. They're using the visuals. They're using the VR. They're doing everything they can to get more mental reps into him so he can get a good feel. So you can get him feeling good in this offense, getting him ready to go. They're trying to help him out as much as possible. That's the thing about Justin Fields. They're trying to help him out as much as possible. He's got the arm. He's got the mobility. Every year it hasn't hit. And maybe it's never going to hit. But the thing is, if it does, it's going to be nuclear. And you got some pieces in place here. And every year, there's something different. Like the Steelers, new look, but you got George Pickens. Here with the Jets, you got Garrett Wilson. You got the Ohio State connection. You got running backs. You got an offensive line. You got a coaching staff here that's really working with him. Really pushing him. They're going over things. They want him to be there. They want him as the guy. Like, there's no other Russell Wilson there to battle with. They want him to be the guy. They're going to push him through coaching, not through competition. You see that with the GoPro. You see that. I'm going over with that. They got the pieces around him. He doesn't even have to be the guy there. If the run game's cooking, he's going to do a little better. Football-wise. Fantasy-wise, it's probably always going to be there. He could be throwing picks. He could be throwing the ball off target a lot. Fantasy-wise, he's okay. In those regards, if he's completing some passes, he's a QB1. Due to the rushing production, that's what we love. Mason Taylor, I can't wait to get some clips out on him. Mason Taylor, that's a tight end with a lot of upside there. You're looking at Justin Fields, man. People forget at Ohio State. Let's talk about one of the greatest plays in Ohio State history that nobody talks about. Against Michigan, he takes a shot. We thought the ACL was blown. We thought he was done. We thought the game was done. He goes out of play. Maybe 2. Memory's getting foggy here. He comes back. He's trotting out there, but you know the knee's there. You know it. You can kind of see it. Runs the play. We're rolling out. Throws a dart for a touchdown. Throws a dart. And you thought it was over. Like, stadium silent. You thought it was donezo. Everything not looking good. Not looking good. Mason Taylor, there's Tyrod Taylor in there. Not looking good. They're nervous. Nervous for the Buckeyes. Nervous for the game. Nervous for Justin Fields. But you watch that, he comes right back in, throws that strike. Dude has a little moxie in him. Dude has that in him. He's a tough player. He's a tough quarterback. He has that in him. Played with good wide receivers at Ohio State. He's played with a few good wide receivers. He's been able to fuel DJ Moore. We saw a laser light show last year in training camp with George Pickens. We're back with Garrett Wilson. I think Breece Hall is going to be the X factor here. I think you're looking at Fields. I think you're looking at Garrett Wilson. I think Breece Hall is going to be the X factor here. I think Breece Hall is going to get a lot of touches. I think Garrett Wilson's going to be spammed with targets. I think fantasy-wise, I think you're going to have games where, due to game script and everything else, that you're not going to like, but there's also going to be games where he's going to be good. That, I think, is going to be a lot like other years. And you're going to look back on the season. If you look at the points per game, you look at this, you're like, that wasn't too bad. He's actually pretty good ranked-wise. But you look at him setting lineup-wise, you look at him game to game to game, those low points, there'll be a batch of them due to game scripts, slower game scripts, not as many plays ran, and you're like, oh, there's some volatility here. I think Breece Hall's the X factor here for the offense. I think if we can control the football, not turn it over, I think Breece Hall is going to be the X factor. I think the rushing ability of Fields is going to be an X factor. I think he's going to look different with how he's going to be used. You see it right there. You see it right there. There's your key. There's your key. If you know, you know. There's your key of what you could be seeing with Justin Fields. There's other receivers in this offense to spray the ball around. I look for Wilson to have a 25-ish% target share. I think the ADOT will be up a little bit for Garrett Wilson. I think he's going to have a good year. I think the hands are going to be sticky, creating separation. I think the rapport is going to be there with him and Fields. Breece Hall is going to be the X factor. Hall's going to be using the receiving game. It's going to be explosive. They're going to use that RPO. And then what are you going to do? If you're a DN, D-tackle, you got Fields, you got Hall, the ball's in the belly, and you got speed coming at you one direction or another. What decision are you going to make? Ball's in the belly. It's going to be kept or not. What are you going to think? Let me know, though, what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.